Hey everybody, Rob Shins with Specialty Gas House in Columbus, Ohio. Back to explain to you a little bit about the differences between different fireplaces, different types of inserts that you can have. Basically, I'm going to give you what we call Fireplace 101. We're going to start with vented gas logs. Now, vented gas logs, they operate much like a wood-burning fireplace does in that they're utilizing room air for combustion. We're feeding probably somewhere around 100,000 BTUs of gas to this log set right now, and the damper is wide open. And honestly, when we put one of these in, we're required by National Fuel and Gas Code to disable the damper in the open position. We're going to put a clamp in that damper to assure that you're not going to have to worry about opening it because it's always going to be open. Now, these are beautiful to look at. There's a gorgeous ember bed. I mean, we invite friends and family over to our house with something like this. They're going to be like, "Ooh, you built me a fire." Maybe within 20 minutes or a half hour or an hour, you're not stirring the fire, you're not adding another log. They figure out the fact that, man, this isn't real. So, great look. A little bit of radiant heat that these things throw out. If heat is not a priority, this is the way to go. There are dozens and dozens of different looks with vented and different sizes from 12, 16 inches all the way up to 48, 60-inch gas logs for the largest fireplace you could ever have. A lot of considerations. The bigger they get, the more gas they consume, and we got to think about gas line size that's feeding these as well. In this application, got to make sure that, okay, have you burnt wood in that fireplace in the past? If you have you ever smoked up the house because of it? If the chimney is a little bit marginal in the way that it draws, we have to take that into consideration when we're doing vented, because all that byproduct is laden with carbon monoxide. It has to go away. So vented gas logs. Now, I'm going to turn this on. This is what's called a vent-free insert. Now, this is a firebox that has a burner, that has a control system and everything that's part of it. And this would be great if you've got let's say you got a wall, and you're like, "I'd like to have a fireplace on that wall." Well, this is path of least resistance firebox mantle. The mantles can be had in a number of different finishes and configurations, and run a gas line to it, boom, it's done. Vent free, uses room air for combustion and vents to the room. Now, the beauty of vent free is the bang for your buck factor, 99.8% efficient. Everything that you're burning is coming out into the room as heat. Vented, I put my hand here, I feel some radiant heat. After this has been running for a little bit, you're going to feel a little bit more radiant heat, but truth be known, this is dragging just as much or more out of the house than it's putting in. Whereas ventless, there's a lot of heat coming out of this. This will actually heat the room. Now, let's say you have a wood-burning fireplace and you really don't like the idea of allowing all that heat to escape. Well, this is an insert. This is a firebox. We don't need that firebox. We can put a gas log on the floor of your existing fireplace that you can run with the damper shut. Now, the beauty of vent-free in an application like that is vent-free becomes vented if you choose to vent it. Now, the insert that I fired up over here, if you want fire, you're going to get heat. There's no way to allow it to escape. With a vented fireplace, a wood-burning fireplace, and a vent-free gas log, you can run it with the damper shut or open. Or you can crack the damper a little bit to allow some of it to escape, some of it to come into the room. Your option. A lot of vent-frees. You saw me use a remote control on the one that I fired up over here. This one operates by flipping a switch. Now, if it has a switch, very easy to put a remote control on a situation like this. Now, vented, if you remember when I fired this guy up a minute ago, you saw me reach in here and turn a knob. There's a pilot light that runs inside this fireplace at all times. Now, with vented, in a natural gas application, you can be the pilot. You physically light a flame, hold it in the fireplace, put the key in the valve in the floor or a valve that's in the fireplace in a safe spot. As you have your flame lit, you turn the key, poof, the fire lights. That's the least expensive way to go about doing it. Vented becomes very affordable in a match lit application. This one happens to have a safety pilot valve. And if you come over here, I'm going to turn this off so you can see what I'm talking about. You can actually adjust your flame height with this knob. Turn that up and down. When you turn that to the off position, the pilot light remains lit, and now next time you want to use the fireplace, you simply walk up, turn the knob, poof, the fireplace lights. We can put remote controls on vented, but it's a different operating system, a different control valve that would take the place of the valve we've got in here that allows us to have a transmitter and a receiver that we can tie into it where you can turn it on and off via remote. In the vented world, that's the most expensive way of going about doing it. But so to recap, vented, room air for combustion, the damper's wide open, and gorgeous to look at. Not the most efficient thing, but again, if pretty is all you're going for, this is it. Vent free, whether it be an insert that you install on a blank wall, you'd love to have a fireplace, this whole ordeal could go in there. Vent free in an existing wood burning fireplace application, it would be something along these lines where you've got a burner and a log set that goes on the floor of the existing fireplace. Nothing really changes. We just put a log set in there that allows you to run it with the damper shut or open. Now, the third animal in our Fireplace 101 series is called a direct vent insert. Now, let's say you've already got that existing wood burning fireplace and you would like to have a unit that's not going to take air out of the house like a vented system does. Or you're not really all that keen on vent free. You really don't like the idea of, okay, we're using room air for combustion, we're venting to the room. This is what's called a direct vent insert. Now, this goes into the opening of an existing wood burning fireplace. So all your brick and your tile surround, anything you've got is going to be visible behind this. These shrouds come in different sizes. The fireboxes themselves come in different sizes to accommodate the opening of a fireplace, whatever it may be. So we've got restrictions as to what we can use depending on the width and the height of the opening that you have. The beauty of direct vent is there's no exchange of room air for combustion. This unit is using outside air for combustion, and in this case, we're actually dragging room air in here. The exhaust gases are going out through another pipe. Now, we've got this kind of nuts and boltsy kind of display set up so people can wrap their brain around how this whole thing works. What there is, and you've all been in someone's house, or you may even have one in your own house where you've got a direct vent fireplace. A lot of builders use them. And on the outside of the house, directly behind the fireplace, you're going to see a termination like this. What this is doing is separating the intake air from the exhaust. And in this application, instead of going straight out the side of the house, or if you had a wood-burning masonry fireplace, having to cut a hole in the side of the chimney for this ordeal to work, what we're going to do is we're going to install two separate pipes that are going to go up the flue. It's going to be a termination similar to this that is going to separate the intake air from the exhaust at the top of the chimney. So two different vent pipes, one for intake, one for exhaust, termination at the top. To get heat out of these, typically blower systems are involved, and what we're going to do is we're going to circulate room air around the hot cavity of this box. We're going to drag room air in, and we're going to shoot that warmed air out. We're going to get upwards of 70% efficient on this, depending on the unit. I mean, without a blower, you might be 45, 50% efficient with just radiant heat. And this thing's running with just radiant heat right now, and it feels pretty good. We put a blower system on this, and the blowers are all thermostatically controlled, where the blower won't be running unless the unit is hot enough to actually produce heat. So with the blower, we're going to see 65, 70% efficient. Without the blower, let's say the power's out, you're going to rely on this to stay warm in your house until the power comes back on. Or the furnace is broke, we're going to rely on this to heat our house until the furnace repair guy can get there. You're going to be huddled up pretty close to this to be able to feel the heat that it's making. So the last question would be, what is the safety of each of these individual units? Vented gas logs, safe as burning a wood fire. You've got some hot areas here that we don't want our kids or our pets to get too close to. Uh, Not near as hot in a vented application as a vent-free might get. With a vent-free, you got all that heat spilling out, and these areas are going to get somewhat warm or hot. So this happens to be a non-combustible mantle. This is made out of concrete. Uh, no way this is going to burst into flames if we've got a vent-free unit here. Uh, got considerations with televisions over fireplaces. That's all the rage now. Everybody wants to put their TV over their fireplace. Well, as long as that TV is back here in a vent-free application, we don't have to worry about that. If there's concerns about vent-free, go on YouTube and check out Is Vent-Free Safe? There's a video that we produced that talks a little bit about that. And direct vent, is direct vent safe? Absolutely. But we've still got some hot areas right here. You got kids running around and they bump into the fireplace, there's a pretty good chance somebody's going to get scorched kind of good if they get too close to it. But go on to specialtygashouse.com. We do have a fireplace measurement page, and we're going to do a video about the proper ways to measure for your fireplace opening, because vented, vent-free, and direct vent have very specific requirements for minimum hearth dimensions, and we'll talk about that in our next video.